Hi, this is Tom Rule, the Make and Mac guy, and I want to show you a little bit about MidGaHosting.com. It's an inexpensive, full service, easy to use hosting service, MidGaHosting.com. That's a difficult combination to come up with, especially among all those nationally advertised companies. Now, obviously, you can set up an account from anywhere on the planet. I just named it MidGaHosting because that's where I am. And we kind of like it here. So let's take a look at how you sign up for it. This is the website as it exists right now. Now, obviously, if you're looking at this video a few years from now, the pricing may have changed because prices change. But anyway, let's look at some of the options and how easy it is to set up your own website. And this is perfect for small businesses, for individuals. It's just really, really easy to set up. Now, in a separate video, I'm going to show you the control panel and how easy it is to go through your website to set it up, to use it, and all that kind of stuff. This thing right here is a video that automatically plays. I've already got it stopped right here. But you basically have, click on the hosting, several different options here. These three are the shared hosting. Now let's take a look at the difference here. Shared hosting is where you have a bunch of people, a bunch of accounts on one computer. The majority of hosting plans use shared hosting, so there's nothing bad about them. They are less powerful. They are also a lot less expensive. So you get what you pay for. So we're going to compare the plans in a bit. VPS is where it looks like you have a server by itself, but in actuality, there are several people sharing one particular machine. Much more powerful than shared hosting, not as powerful as the semi-dedicated or dedicated hosting. Semi-dedicated, they have just a few people sharing one box. Dedicated hosting, you have the entire box by yourself. So you would want to use dedicated hosting if you have an exceptionally busy website, or you're doing a whole bunch of computations or video streaming, audio streaming, that kind of stuff, a ton of it. I've actually got a couple of clients who are doing some video stuff with a shared hosting, and it's working fine. They're not getting gazillions of hits a day, though. So one nice thing about MidGaHosting is it's fairly easy to transfer your account from one type to the other. So you can start with a cheap one and then go switch behind the scenes to a more expensive one just by contacting technical support. One also unique thing about all these plans, hosting plans, is that they all come with 140 plan features. A lot of these you're not going to care about, to be honest. You're not. But many of them, unlimited disk space, unlimited monthly traffic. Now, the Biz Limited account, as you can see, there are some limits. These are pretty high, especially if you do not have much traffic. But you can also see it's much less expensive. Another unique thing about this is that you can have multiple domains hosted or even unlimited under your one host. So what happens, let's say you have 1.com and 2.com and 3.com. So all three of those can be underneath this one hosting account. You get one free domain, and then all you have to do is to pay for the additional 2 domains. Every domain can have its own set of email addresses. You know, Fred@1.com, Fred@2.com, Fred@3.com, for example. So a lot of possibilities there, and you can see you can have quite a few email accounts even under just the business account. There is antivirus protection that goes on, and then 99.9% service uptime guarantee. I have several dozen domains, either myself or my clients, and I've had very, very few outages over the last 5-7 years. So it's good and solid. One other thing that these plans have are the bonuses. And there are one-click installs of a whole bunch of features. For example, Well, there is a free web design tool you can get set up. You do not have to be an expert at all. I prefer not using Site Studio. Some people absolutely love it. That's just a personal preference for me. And obviously, you can read more about it. There are some marketing admin tools you can do. An HT access generator, if you need one of those. You don't have to code it manually. You just click, 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 create it, boom, and it does. But the Elefante free scripts, this is pretty cool. When you set up your account, and we're going to look at that in a second, you can also tell it, okay, go ahead and install this or that or the other. WordPress is on here, ad management, movable type, text pattern, WordPress, obviously. Calendars, Mayan Events is a pretty good calendaring system, classifieds. Drupal, Joomla, Mambo, Moodle, Open Realty, several others on here. If you're doing a customer support site, automatically do PHP tickets. E-commerce, OS Commerce, and OS ComRes. I prefer PrestaShop myself, but that's just me. And then, even a wiki. So all you have to do is select it. And it literally is a one-click install. The marketing tools that come with it, you get RSS automatically. You can add in a popularity check tool. There's some IP blocking features that actually is pretty cool. So let's go back into the hosting right now. The VPS hosting, and a video is going to come up, and let's stop that right now. This is a video that will actually explain a little bit about what a VPS is and the advantages and disadvantages of it. Basically, what it boils down to is it is a more powerful hosting option. You can see there are some limits on monthly traffic as opposed to unlimited, but a third of a terabyte is a lot of traffic, just tons of traffic. Dedicated IP address, option for different OSs. So obviously this is a much more advanced type of hosting package. You can also see there is no setup fee, and that is as opposed to a lot of other hosts where they will charge you $25, $50, $300 to just set up your account. And this will be done in an hour. And most of the time it's within a half an hour. So, and it is a monthly price, so you can cancel it at any time. And just I'm mousing over the question marks. You can get a lot of more details here. And the VPS hosting benefits you can see here: complete isolation from other VPS users. That means if some other person who's on the same box as you are does something dumb or something goes wrong and they crash their machine, you are not affected. So that is an excellent feature. This combines the best characteristics of shared and dedicated hosting. In other words, it's a halfway point. It's also halfway point price-wise. So if your website has outgrown a shared hosting account, you really need more power. You need to be able to store more files. This is really a good option. Ability to run your own OS if you need to do that. Full administrative control. So you can reboot your machine and it doesn't affect anybody else on the box. That is also one of those things that you really never think about until something goes wrong. So anyway, and then semi-dedicated and dedicated hosting. Basically what you're doing here is renting an actual box. Semi-dedicated, you have very few people on the same box, limited number of users per server. So dedicated resources, and here's the key. This is why you would want to do this: better performance. And then better performance from a VPS, much better performance from a shared. And then the dedicated hosting, it's basically you are the only person on the box. Obviously costs a lot more. The disadvantage here is that you've got more work to do on your own. Now, the advantage, though, of getting a dedicated hosting with MidGaHosting.com is that we will take care of the behind-the-scenes management, the security updates, making sure the hardware is running, and all that kind of muckety-muck stuff, maintenance kinds of things, leaving you free to create the site, manage the site, market the site, that kind of stuff. So that's just an overview of the plans. The Biz Limited plan was designed for somebody who just needs one website, limited space, limited disk space, somebody like a plumber. They need an online space so people can find them and how to contact them and all that kind of stuff, but you're not going to have a gazillion people visiting the plumber. So that's why we developed this one. And you can see you can get any TLD pretty much on the planet. Italy or Tuvalu or Australia, Asia, whatever. And we're all the time adding on TLDs, top level domains, if you don't know what a TLD is. And then all these, each plan comes with all these kinds of things. You can actually switch between PHP 4, PHP 5, and now PHP 6. We haven't updated that part. Bunch of back-end libraries, Microsoft front page extensions, that kind of stuff. So if you decide to sign up, it's very, very easy. Sign up, click. And what will happen, you choose a username here, choose this with care, that you will not be able to change it after that, after you set up your account. And it needs to be something that where you can remember it. This is the username you'll use to log into your control panel. Which website plan do you want? Here's your VPS options, dedicated plans, hosting plans. And you can actually have just a domain manager, which does not cost you anything, but you can use the MidGaHosting to manage all of your domains. You can purchase domains from us, all those kinds of things. So let's pick this, shows you how much it is, pounds, euros, whatever. And this is where you can pick, okay, what script do you want installed? So we can actually, let's go ahead and have it install WordPress 3.3.1. And which data center location? In general, you want to pick one that's closest to where you are. You can see we've got one in Sweden. We've got a server farm in the UK and in Australia. So several options. Do you want to register a new domain? Do you want to use an existing domain? And you can actually check and see if it's option, if it's available, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, your standard account owner details here. I notice most of these are mandatory. And then how do you want to pay? Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, or also PayPal. So, or Western Union or Bankwire. So very, very easy to set up. What will happen after you set it up, you hit continue, you'll be taken to a confirmation screen, and then you will get an email that notice you've got to please make sure your email address and your phone number are correct. Yes, that's telling me it's an invalid email because I haven't typed anything in there. You'll get an email with your account setup information, and then you can go to the log into your control panel and start setting things up. But that's the subject for another video. Remember MidGaHosting.com.